What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. We are back with the Tesla Model S P85, the 300,000 mile Tesla. We've got it on the lift today, and we got a special guest with us, Monkey Wrench Mike.
The Tesla expert.
Yeah,
I know nothing about it.
I needed your help on this, Mike.
Well,
Mike has already started disassembling the car. He figured out pretty quickly that these are Legos. His whole car just kind of buttons together, right?
Mm-hmm. Let me push this part in. That may
there you go. Yeah, look, you can see a little clip there that's not where it's supposed to be. That's fine, whatever. So today is the day. You guys got to see in the last video that, you know, we bought the car for $7,800. We took it for a spin, and surprisingly, it does everything a car is supposed to do, except for the heat and air conditioning does not work. And that's a big problem because it's cold.
It's January.
It's January. It's honestly pretty warm right now, but it's cold. And heat would be really nice. So here's what I've noticed. If you turn the heater on, you don't feel anything blowing out of it. But if you're driving down the road and you put it on not recirculate, the fresh air, you put your hand in front of the vent, you can feel a little bit of heat coming out. So the heat is working.
Okay.
See, these cars heat with electricity. It's like got a grid or something that heats up.
Yeah.
So it's functioning, but there's nothing blowing.
So you have to, you need your...
I need my blower.
Yeah.
Now, I found some parts. Here's the motor that came out of it. Somebody's already replaced the blower motor in this car. We took it apart in the last video, and I showed you guys that this definitely looked like it was, if it wasn't bad, it was on its way out. We checked the resistance, and it had like 4 ohms. So this, and here's all the brush material right here. So this motor was bad. So I'm fairly, or at least going bad. Somebody's already replaced the blower motor and the blower motor resistor. That tells me that there's really only one other thing that it could be, and that is a DC to DC inverter. And it's an expensive part. It'll cost you about $2,000 to have Tesla do it. Yikes. So what we're going to do is we're going to test it. It's really easy to test, but it's important that we disconnect the high voltage battery. And this is going to be fun, Mike. I'm going to have Mike doing everything today.
What do I need to avoid? Anything orange?
Me.
Oh.
We're going to disconnect the high voltage battery at the fireman's loop, which is going to be located. If you want to pop this off, Mike, show them how easy it is. I mean, just whole thing, just pop, 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 pop.
Okay.
I'll grab it from this side and pop, and then you push it up towards the windshield, like that. Okay. And then just, finagle it out. There you go.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Ooh, orange.
Yep, we're getting to the good stuff. Don't worry, guys. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to test the DC to DC inverter. If it's bad, I have one on eBay. We're going to be using used parts to fix stuff like this, because I'm not spending $2,000 on a car that I paid $7,800 for. You know, I found a Reman DC to DC inverter on eBay right now for $400. Buy it now. Go ahead, pull that out. We're going to have to anyway. Let's see what the air filter looks like. I guarantee it's never been changed. 300,000. Oh, it's not bad. What about the other side? That's
the suction side.
That's not bad.
No, huh?
Okay, we'll clean it and put it back. I don't have a new one.
Tesla on a budget.
This is what it's going to be, a Tesla on a budget. DIY. We're going to do everything ourselves if we can help it. Now, on top of this, I have a couple other problems with the car we're going to get into. Number one, I have warped brake rotors. Thankfully, you rarely use brakes in a car like this. It's got such strong regenerative braking that you are rarely going to actually hit the brake pedal. But there are occasions where I do need to hit the brakes, and you can feel that kind of vibration. So I will end up at some point coming back and doing brake pads and rotors on this car. But the thing that's really annoying me is a slight rattle in the front end. I think it's coming from over there. We're going to look around. I think it's suspension related. We're going to check the front and rear suspension for any play. Like, I've got a feeling, especially on the back, there's some worn bushings on maybe some trailing arms, lateral arms, something like that. Because when you hit the throttle, this is a performance model. When you hit the throttle, you can feel the back twist. It's weird. It's very, but you feel it twist, and then if you let off the throttle and it goes into regen, you feel it go twist the other way. So the car will kind of swerve right when you hit the gas, and it'll swerve left when you let off, or gas, I shouldn't call it gas, the throttle. So we need to check the suspension because I think something is wrong. It's nothing that scares me too much. It doesn't feel like anything's about to fall apart. It's just something that I'd like to take a look at and, you know, just make sure that everything's okay. I don't think we need to remove anything from this side, but I mean, we kind of have already started on that side, so why not just pull all of this off and...
Yeah, all you can do is break it.
Yeah, all I can do is break it. Oh, look, easy.
Did you break it?
No, I hope not. I don't think I did. So, what is down here? It's got a little rust. Oh, your upper control arms are right here? Under this...
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
No kidding. How nice is that? Okay. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but this is not too shabby. Yeah, maybe I got a bad ball joint or something. I don't know. These upper control arms don't look like they're really that difficult
Okay.
to work on. Check it out. And there's your air strut right there.
Wow. Okay.
This is my first time, guys. Your washer fluid, brake fluid, and then your coolant, which will be for your battery. Coolant goes to other things other than the battery. I think it also goes to a couple of the inverters. It'll be going to this inverter as well. So definitely want to make sure your coolant stays full. Here's another interesting thing. This doesn't have any tabs. They're all missing. They're supposed to be little clips.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Someone's been in here.
Someone's been in here before.
You got one tab here on this side.
Whoa, wow. Okay. Yeah, it's not this that's rattling. So in order to get to the fireman's loop, which is what we're going to have to get to disconnect the high voltage battery, we need to remove this entire piece. There is a clip or two. There's one right there. There's another clip hiding right here, and then I think this piece comes off, and then we probably have to take this suction piece off as well, because there's actually a connector that we have to pull off. The low voltage, the 12-volt battery is also located under here, and we need to disconnect the negative cable on that because we have both low voltage and high voltage going to the DC to DC inverter. Then we're going to get the car in the air. We're going to pop this wheel off. We're going to pop the fender liner out, and we'll have full access to a ginormous... It's going to look pretty cool.
Nice.
And then we'll use a voltmeter on it. We'll find out it's got 400 volt, 40 amp fuses, 2 of them. And typically when you run into this problem, it is one blown fuse. And you have to disassemble the converter, or the inverter, I should say. And I'd rather just not. I'd rather just buy a known good one off eBay, and then we can do it in another video. We'll tear into it.
You have your fuse back there somewhere?
There are no, I have no. There are no, I don't have those fuses.
Oh, okay.
Are you talking about the my voltmeter?
The volt, the 40 amp, whatever we need.
Oh, no, those are almost unobtainium. They're very difficult to get, and they're about $45 a piece per fuse, yeah. So I would rather just make sure that I know what's wrong with it first, and then I'll just buy a whole nother reman inverter off of eBay for $400, because that's better than spending $90 on 2 fuses. Let's continue on this, guys. We're going to pull this thing out real quick. Let's see what lies underneath. All right, so we moved this out of the way. We were going to take the whole thing off, but it's, you know, the windshield wipers would have to come off, and I'm not really wanting to mess with that. So we've moved this out of the way. There's a 10 mil way back here. There's another one way back there. Once you get those 10 mils out, I think this just kind of, right? Oh, yeah, there's clips.
There's a little clip on top.
There's clips, and one of them's already broken, so somebody's been in here before too. Come on, there we go. And pop this out, and here we have access to our fireman's loop, our battery terminal. I think that's the negative, I'm not sure. So we're going to need to disconnect the fireman's loop, and then right there, you see that? That's the inverter we got to get to. This whole big piece right here with all the wires sticking out of it. And
it says cabin heater.
Yeah, cabin heater. That's what we're going to check. Is the cabin heater plus and minus to the 400 volt plus and minus. Yeah, so
you can touch that.
that's okay, Mike. I'm going to let you handle this one. Let's disconnect this this high voltage line. And you do this clip right here. If you stick something under it, maybe able to do it without sticking something under it. But it's got a little hole, kind of dead in the center of the top right here. A pick would be better. Yeah, let me get a pick. All right, so if you get in the back of this, you should be able to pry this up and out. Just like that, you have now disconnected the high voltage power from the car. And if your car was to be involved in a serious accident or possibly a fire, this is sitting here because the firemen will come in with their cutters and they'll actually cut this loop right here. And yeah,
that's what they call it, the fireman's loop.
Yep, the fireman's loop. There it is. We're almost safe. I'm going to take this battery terminal loose right here and disconnect this, and then we should be good to put it up in the air, get the wheel off, and
Is it weird to have another camera operator?
It is, but it's nice because I got two hands to work with. All right, let's get it up in the air. All right, we got the car up in the air, and we found something kind of funny.
We're learning.
We're learning Tesla. So maybe we can teach you guys something so you don't do the same thing that I just did. Look at these lug nuts. These are 19-inch wheels. And these lug nuts are absolutely ridiculously large. They're insane. What size were they? 25?
25.
25 millimeter or 1 inch. You want to show them how to do it?
I was going here. Okay.
No, go ahead. So if it breaks, then you can buy me a new one.
Oh, great. Here we go. How about this one right here? You
Yeah,
ready?
try that one. Let's see if you can do
This
it.
is just sheer.
Oh, what is this? A beauty cover. And what hides underneath that beauty cover? What size is that? A 21?
21.
A 21. So do you want to tell them what I did before I figured it out?
You got the big man tool and like that, and it didn't
Whoops.
break. Yeah, but yeah.
I think it might be a little broken, but we're going to put it back. I've already taken the liberty of removing all of these, but yeah, what I did is the only socket that I could find that fits it, I have a 1 inch here, 1 inch with a 1/2 inch drive, and yeah, I used the big boy, and it promptly came off. There it is right there. It cracked. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I think it'll be okay. Yeah, so interesting. Deep inside of there is nothing but a bunch of 21s. So I'm going to get the front end up in the air. We got some wheel chocks behind it. We're going to get under the car and start looking at things later. But first, I want to access this DC to DC inverter. This is my biggest complaint right now. When I turn on the air conditioning, I can hear the AC come on. When I turn on the heat, I can feel that there's heat. There's just no movement of air.
No blow.
Yeah,
No blow flow.
no blow for Randy. That should be my nickname. All right, well, we got the car in the air, and then we realized the arms to my bridge jack will not cover the width of this car. So,
It's got a wide body.
yeah, she's a little wide. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to put the fireman's loop back together, the battery terminal back on, wake the car up, put it on the other side of the shop, and use an old school jack. Yeah, that's...
Something came to my head. I'm not going to say it.
Go ahead, say it, Mike.
When's the last time you were on your knees?
Yeah, it's been
Working on
long,
a car?
long. Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, if anybody was ever curious, like what it looks like under here, there's nothing to see. There's nothing. 300,000 miles, and there's nothing. It's just battery upon battery. Mike found there's a screw back here. Looks like a little screw that goes in the battery. It's not in all the way. Huh. Wonder what's going on there. Looks like some silicon that was in the battery pack.
Ooh.
It's kind of...
Yikes.
Lots of silicon. I mean, there's a lot of... Is that factory? I don't know. Looking at the suspension, well, you can't really see anything, man. There's nothing to see in this car. You can't see anything. You can't access anything. I mean, if you take it apart, I suppose you can, but the suspension on the front is pretty impressive looking, though. Reminds me of like an S-Class Mercedes. Pretty complicated looking suspension up here. Really nice. Everything, though, looks really good. The strut has a little corrosion. I mean, this car did come from, it started in Massachusetts, and then it ended up in New Hampshire, if I remember correctly, and it spent its entire life there. We're talking about the Northeast, the Salt Belt. This car has been there its entire life, and look at it. It's barely showing any signs This is impressive. 300,000 miles. And this car looks absolutely amazing. All right, I guess we'll put it back together and we'll drop it down off the lift. And then we will scoot it over here, put it on a jack, and let's, once and for all I care about is getting the heater working. That's all I want. Let's figure out what's wrong with the heater so I can hopefully order the part, because I am 99% certain it's going to be this DC to DC inverter. Okay, we had a nice surprise that we're going to try to share with you guys here. We're going to hook up the negative battery terminal.
That's loud.
That is incredibly loud.
Jeez.
Why is it still flashing?
You made it mad, that's why.
Oh, the high volt. Okay, why is it flashing? Great, I hope we didn't like brick the car.
Oh. It's flashing quicker.
Great. So we'll plug in the high voltage. Bah! Didn't scare you at all, did it? All right, high voltage is plugged back in. Battery's plugged in. I don't
want to touch it anymore.
Uh-oh, it just turned off. Oh, boy.
We just made her mad. Really mad.
It's supposed to be easy to work on yourself. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. The screen did not come back on. Wait. Here it goes. So it's just slow, right? But why are the freaking hazards on?
Yeah.
Okay, it's...
Jack mode enabled.
But why is the...
Why are your hazards on?
I don't know. So it looks like the car is back on, but for whatever reason, our hazard lights and the button seems to be broken. I can't...
Oh, great.
Yeah, I can't. Maybe a pick. Maybe I can fix it with a pick, get it in there.
Yeah, here, let me get you a pick. Here.
All right, I think we're good. Let's put it in gear. Front trunk open, proceed with caution. We hear that? Creak, creak, creak. Boy, this car is heavy. All right, good, good. The car came back to life. I think it's gonna be okay. We're gonna move it on over to the other side. Let's get it up in the air. And let's see what we can find on that inverter. All right, so we're thinking taking this 300,000 mile Tesla to the local Tesla dealership. That could be a good video.
That'd be great.
Have them go over it, tell me everything that they find wrong with it. We just checked the front end on this, no play.
No.
None. Side to side, up and down,
Nope.
nothing. It's and even the brake pads. What do they? You think it's about 50%? Maybe half the brake pad life left on them. I mean, there's still quite a bit on those pads. So,
Even the ball joint, even the rubber on this, look, it's still good. It's still pliable.
this is, and the thing is, like, I checked Carfax, and this car has nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing on the Carfax report that anything has ever been done to this car. Somebody's had to have done something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's got a beefy suspension, though. I mean, it's a really beefy suspension. Everything looks pretty good, though. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through here. We're going to pop all of these clips. Looks like there's one there that's either missing or just plain broken. We're going to take these clips out. Is that really it? There's two there. One up top right here.
Oh, I see a zip tie.
Where?
I see a zip tie right there, baby. Right there. Look at that.
Oh.
Someone has been in here.
Someone's been in there. They lost a they lost a clip. There might be another one that was supposed to be there too, and there's one right there. So we're going to come in here, we're going to pull these clips, and this thing should just kind of fold back over here, and the inverter that we're looking for is going to be sitting, well, right there. All right, so behind the curtain lies the inverter, like I told you, right inside the wheel well. We've got this entire piece here that's an inverter. You've got a ground here, you've got your low voltage positive right here, you've got your high voltage positive here, 400 volts. You've got 2 coolant lines that need to be disconnected, and you've got 3 plugs right here. We're going to be focusing on this and this. This is your cabin heater, and this is your power coming in. So there are going to be 2 fuses, and we're going to need to check the positive side of this to the positive side of that for continuity. And if we have continuity, then we're going to need to check the negative side to the negative side for continuity. And I'm willing to bet you that one side of this is dead as a doornail. All right, so now things are getting a little scary, even though we've got everything disconnected and everything should be fine. When you see these bright orange everywhere, that's usually a sign that you're playing with fire.
Yeah.
You're supposed to have these thick gloves. Everybody I see on YouTube, they use these really thick gloves, and they tell you never to work on something like this with your bare hands. And there's lots of warnings, you know, like voltage, kill, die, things of that nature. Here is the part number for this. This one happens to be a 6009170-00-J. So I'm going to need to keep that in mind when I'm searching online. So I've got a little pick here. Who is calling me? Somebody from Kentucky. We're going to not answer that. I've got a little pick here. I'm just going to try to pry this out. And yeah, there we go. Ah! No, I'm kidding. Oh, you got a little... This seal's been trashed on this. That seal is not in good shape. That seal keeps water out, so that's good. Before we go any further, Mike, will you hand me my voltmeter, please? I would really like to just double check and verify, you know, that there's no high voltage left on these lines.
There you go.
Now, this is a DC to DC inverter, so we should be able to set this for, goodness, what is this, 400 volts? All right, we're going to find out if we've got power. We have it set for 1,000 volts. I think that's plenty. I think it's 1,000.
Just don't touch me when you're touching that.
1,000 volts should cover it. We got a ground right here, and I'll put it on the first pole. What do we got? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, let's try the other side.
Nothing.
Nothing. That means we are good to go. We shouldn't need gloves. That's a lie, guys. Always wrap it up. All right, couple 10 mils here. We'll pull these leads out. I think there's these weird plastic clips. Somebody's been in here, it looks like. These plastic clips, this one's missing the pieces. So you're supposed to be able to push these down and kind of pop. Mm-hmm. You've got to get these plastic pieces off. So we may have to use a screwdriver or a pick. But these plastic pieces have to come off. The tins have to come off of here. And then we can pull these lines out. And then we're going to check continuity between here and here and here and here. And to get this out, you just pop this little red. I think that's... Yeah. Pop that little red... Oops. Yeah, there you go. And give it a wiggle.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's find out if we have continuity. Because if we don't... This is going to be a really simple repair. All right, Mike wants to film this. I put these gloves right here, should be plenty to protect me from 400 volts and 40-ish amps or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
So he's standing very far back away from me right now.
Sparks.
All right. Well, look at that.
Well, that's anticlimactic there.
No such luck. Looks like I ain't dying today. I shouldn't say that. I know better than to say something like that.
We have good karma today, though.
Well, that doesn't work for me, Mike, but hopefully it works for you. All right, these, once we get these bolts off, these should just pull straight out. These are problematic. They will fight you, but just don't let them win. There we go. Now, there we go. Just like that. Ah! He didn't even jump. Didn't even jump.
It involves you. If it was
Right.
me, then yeah.
All right. Remember what side these went on? Take a look.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That looks burnt.
It touched something, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's burnt. Okay. Well, the fun part now is let's find out if we got continuity. So if we hear a beep, that means that the connection is good.
So we want to hear one beat, but not two.
We're going to start with positive to positive. And that will be right here. That's intermittent. Let's try negative to negative. We're good on the negative side. But on the positive side, uh-oh. That's not what we wanted.
No.
We're good on the positive side. And we're good on the negative side.
So that means the
Uh-oh.
things are fine, right?
Yeah, that means the fuses are good. All right, well, take a look what I found in here. Look at all that corrosion. I don't know why I decided to pop the cap off of this positive terminal, but she's definitely corroded. I don't know that that's enough to cause a problem, guys. Here's the negative. I took it off too. I'm going to go ahead and clean these. We got a electrical cleaner right here, and we got some of these wire brushes. This should be plenty to get in there and kind of just clean all this gunk out, clean this up as best as possible, and then put it back together. And, you know, it's probably too late. Here's another thing. If you look, do you see the corrosion that's kind of going down the case of this unit? It starts at this positive lead, and it just, look at all that. So I'm not going to rule out that the DC to DC inverter isn't bad. Even though those fuses are good, I'm seeing some very concerning signs of maybe water intrusion. Something got in here and wreaked havoc on this. So we could still have a bad inverter. Well, she's back together.
Yeah.
Good karma, right?
Good karma, baby.
So the heat works?
I'm going to let you answer that.
No. No, the heat doesn't work. It still does absolutely nothing. So I don't have all the special tools for scanning this thing to find out like what's going on. This would be something that you'd want to take it to Tesla for. You know, here's the thing. If you just take it to Tesla, pay the whatever, $150 diagnostic fee, let them go through the car. That way they can tell me everything that's wrong with it, and then I can fix it myself.
So this was all a waste right here. That's what you're telling me.
This is all a waste, yeah. That's very unfortunate. Like, it's dark. The day is gone.
Fail.
Yeah. Normally, I wouldn't want to post a video of failing, but I mean, you know, we already made the video, so
yeah.
You win some, you lose some. I'm still very suspicious of that inverter. I'm the amount of corrosion that was all over it, that's running down the case of it, that thing is directly responsible for the heat and air conditioning. And the fact that somebody's already been in here and replaced the blower motor and the blower motor resistor. Like, unless it's the PTC, and I don't even know what that stands for. I know where it's at because I watched a video. Mm-hmm. You got to take a lot apart. A lot of the I'll show you. It's, hopefully, did I leave my key? Yeah, I left my key over there, right over there. I got to get this car cleaned out too. It is so disgusting. I can't, isn't it nice how Auto presents itself?
Fancy.
Glove box has to come out. This big piece here has to come out. That piece down there all has to come out. There's some pieces underneath the dash here. That has to come out. I think this piece here has to come out. And the PTC actually sits wedged in there, so you got to have all this stuff out of your way to get in there and get the PTC out. And I think the PTC is actually the heater. It's the electric heater portion. It's a big rectangle with a lot of wires that goes into it.
Okay.
So, what did you find there? Stickers?
Stickers.
Oh, look at that.
I don't know what it says.
Tesla certified. right? Approved. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Here's the thing though, most of the stuff that you have to replace on this car, it's not difficult. Changing out a heater core is basically what you're doing, except you don't have all the coolant lines that you got to worry about, or the things breaking off behind the firewall, or pulling the whole dashboard to get to it. You got to pull a few things out, and it's definitely in there, but you can do it yourself. I've watched so many videos on this car for all the common failure points and how to fix them yourself, and I'm going to tell you, this really is a car that it's very DIY friendly, as long as you don't need any special Tesla software or tools to start diagnosing things.
Wow.
So maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea to just send it to Tesla. We have one here in Oklahoma City. Maybe send it there, let them have it for a couple days, go through it, do a full inspection, find everything that they can wrong with it, including diagnosing the heater and air conditioner.
Yeah.
And then I just buy the parts. I guarantee you, I guarantee you, I almost just want to buy the part and kind of do a part scan and I'm willing to bet that a new inverter will fix it. I got a hunch, but I could be wrong. But it could be fun to see how much Tesla would charge for that same. Didn't you read something earlier where it was like $7,000?
For the, yeah, because there was so much labor involved and something like that.
For the DC to DC inverter?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was,
right.
I think the part, I don't remember. That's like $7,000. That's the cost of a new drive unit. That is, I think it's probably around $2,000 to $4,000. But it'd still be kind of fun to send it to Tesla and have them say, hey, here's the bill for, what if it is $4,000? That we buy the part for $400 on eBay. You saw it. How long did it take to get in there once we figured out how to take the lug nuts off?
That was the hardest part. Yeah.
A few clips and a zip tie, and you got like 3 bolts, a few connectors, and swap it out.
And you've already touched all the orange cables, so you're not going to die.
Yeah,
so,
see, now I know.
Easy.
Now I know. I put my own life on the line here to show you guys you don't need the gloves. You probably should have the gloves, but you don't necessarily need them. I'm still happy with the car. You got to ride in it earlier. We drove all the way down here in it.
I love it.
Right?
I really do. For 300,000 miles?
Yes.
No. I've had Okay, compare this to that Cadillac that had 400,000 miles. How much was wrong with the Cadillac? Everything.
Everything.
Nothing is wrong with this other than the blower motor not working.
And if it comes down to it, that's a 12 volt motor. It's not that hard to go get an inline 30 amp fuse and a switch. In fact, I have a switch and I have an inline fuse in that drawer right there with all my electrical stuff. You could literally, I mean, I know it's rigged up, but you could, all you got to do is run it. Where's the power? Right there.
Yeah.
Run power, run ground, right there. Run a switch, put a 30 amp fuse on, and if you need heat, you can select the different settings, how hot, how cold, where you want it to come, and then just flip the switch.
Turn it on.
Full on. It beats not having any heat at all. I was going to do that in this video, but Jessica told me that was a half-ass shortcut way of doing things. I mean, it is, but it's like, I want heat.
We're not going to have heat driving home.
No. You do have heated seats, though.
Oh, that'll help.
So it's nice. The back stays nice and warm, but your legs and your feet are going to freeze. I thought, let's just hook it up to 12 volts, put a switch, and then, turn it on when you're cold and turn it off when you're hot.
Yep.
Until we can get it. But I'm sure Tesla would have loved that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been like, what kind of backwoods hillbilly redneck crap is this? This is what people are doing. You know how much this car was new?
No idea.
It was over $140,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you got it for
$7,800.
Buy of the year right there. Wow.
They don't cost that much anymore. Even the Plaid, and I've been looking. I've been really thinking about getting a Plaid. The Plaids, you can find them on ACV auctions, which is where I got this.
Yeah.
For about $65,000 to $70,000. Wow. For a Plaid. It's like 1,000-something horsepower. 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds. 1.99 seconds. It's got me...
Yeah.
It's got me hooked. And I'm not trying to force EVs onto everybody. I'm just saying, man, once you drive one of these, the power is just, it's addicting. All right. Well, I think we're going to get out of here. But before we do, I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the one and only, not you, The
Oh,
Tesla
shoot.
Model.
Oh, come
no.
on.
The one and only Monkey Wrench Mike.
And you said it right. Thank you.
I did. I'm feeling really generous today. I've got the whole good karma thing
It
going
is.
on. So I'm feeling really, really positive. We're going to let this charge. Him and I are going to go. We're going to drive something else. I don't want to say what it is yet. It'll be a very strange competitor to this. Very bizarre.
Yeah.
If we can make the videos work out, it should be a lot of fun. We're going to go take that, get something to eat, leave this thing on charge because I've only got like 80 miles of range left. That's plenty.
Oh.
Like I can charge it at home too. I got my charger finally came in. And if all else fails, there's 2 supercharging stations in Oklahoma City now.
Oh, okay.
We're big time.
Nice.
One of them is a 350 kilowatt charging station. It's like that. Well, we officially worked on our first. Is this your first electric car that you ever worked on?
Absolutely.
How was it?
I'm so impressed with just like the suspension pieces that
Yeah.
are still good, the rubber, the bushings, the boots,
Yeah.
everything. It's still good.
And this is a northeastern car, Salt Belt.
10 years old,
Yeah.
300,000 miles, and it looks this good.
Don't tell me Tesla doesn't make good cars. All right, don't. What did you think of the ride, the drive? Like it's.
Oh, I loved it.
You've
I
been in
loved
Teslas before, though.
it. When we got your new
Yeah,
one.
back in Kansas City, Missouri.
City, uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of missing. You know, this one needs a little work, but aside from if you just fix a couple minor problems with this thing wouldn't be much different than a brand new one. And that's what I find so crazy because if you did this with a gasoline car, it's your normal car, like you said, your 400,000 mile Cadillac, no comparison. Everything is broken. These things, Elon, you did good, man. Should I say that? Can I say that? Will I get canceled? I don't know. Anyway, if you don't know who Monkey Wrench Mike is, please go check him out. Subscribe to his channel. He's got how many subscribers?
51,000.
51,000. What are you looking for the end of the year? 100?
100.
100,000.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, don't roll your eyes at it. It's
I don't know.
Look, guys, show them that it can be done. All right, go over to Monkey Wrench Mike's channel and hit that subscribe button, like one of his videos, and do the same thing for mine. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe over here as well. I'll put a link that's real cool because it'll just say Monkey Wrench Mike. You just click it.
Oh, you're gonna go fancy with
Yeah.
on the screen.
Yeah,
right?
you just type the @ sign and then the channel name in your description box, and it's automatic. You just click it. It's so simple to go subscribe to his channel and say thank you for always coming out here and helping us and all the road trips that he has endured, like the Cadillac Alante with no roof.
No roof.
Your intro gets me every time, man, because I feel bad. Every time I feel really bad.
Rain.
I was sick with COVID, man. Like I was just,
bad.
it was awful. And you said I'll drive the car with no roof, and sure enough, we got rained on. And now every time I see your videos, I'm reminded what a horrible person I am. You looked so miserable. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. I appreciate you guys watching. Stay safe out there. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.